everyone. Welcome to the third annual and second virtual Teens of LA Film Festival at the Los Angeles Public Library. I'm Candice Mack, Senior Librarian of Young Adult Services, and my pronouns are she, her, and hers.
And I'm Matisse Moser, Young Adult Librarian at the Junipero Serra Branch Library. Pronouns are he and his. We are delighted that you could join us this afternoon to celebrate this achievement in teen films.
Putting together a festival like this is a labor of love under the best of circumstances, and with everything going on this year, well, year and a half actually, it was especially challenging for both the committee and our young filmmakers. We were once again blown away by the creativity and resourcefulness of the teens of Los Angeles who wowed us with what they were able to accomplish in this socially distanced world. This afternoon, we'll be screening the top films and announcing the winners.
Yes, we are. Submissions were scored by our committee based on storytelling and performance, creativity and innovation, cinematography and lighting, production design, costumes and makeup, editing, visual effects, and sound design. The top submissions in each of our 5 categories were then passed along to our guest judges, who determined the final winners. This year, our industry judges included actors, directors, writers, producers, and film programmers. We would like to give shout-outs to Meredith Berg, Michael Caruso, Naya Kukukov, Ethan Irwin, Kent Falcon, Michelle Hardy, Michael Lander, Kiva Reardon, and Anik Wolkin.
We want to thank them again for donating their time and expertise to this wonderful event.
Absolutely. We would also like to thank the members of the 2021 Teens of LA Film Festival Committee here at the Los Angeles Public Library. So, shout outs to Madeline Bryan, Tess Denham, Gina Diaz, Lear Heller, Terry Markson, Crystal Messer, Ziba Perez, Katie Seitz, Danica Sheridan, Tara Smith, Neil Stokes, and Stephanie Sutton, some of whom will be introducing the different categories this year, so you're going to see them in a little bit. So what do you think, Candice? Should we get on with some films?
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
Let's see those films.
Hi, I'm Danica from the Silver Lake branch. First up are micro shorts, tightly edited 1-minute films. A micro movie can be any genre or category, live action, animated, or experimental.
Now, the winners in the micro short category are Alienation by Sonova Elakon, Tovin, and Delilah McAllister.
Woo!
Woo!
Hi, I'm Sonova.
And I'm Delilah. This is such an honor. This is our first film festival, and it has been so much fun submitting and making this animation. We wanted to thank our animation instructors from SPMAP, SPMAP, for teaching us and supporting our films.
Filmmaking really helped us cope with coronavirus, and we are so grateful for this recognition of our work. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Delilah and Sonova. And next up, public service announcements.
Hey, I'm Terry. I'm here to introduce the PSA category, or public service announcement. A PSA is an informational video that raises awareness about an important issue, often having to do with health and safety. PSAs are intended to help change behaviors and attitudes about social topics. PSAs often resemble commercials, but serve the public good rather than advertise products. And here are the films.
I was younger than you are now, when I was given my first command. I led my men straight into a massacre. I witnessed their deaths firsthand. I made every mistake and felt the shame rise in me. And even now I lie awake, knowing history has its eyes on me. History has its eyes on me. Let me tell you what I wish I'd known when I was young and dreamed of glory. You have no control. Who lives, who dies, who tells your story? I know that we can win. I know that greatness lies in you. But remember, from here on in, history has its eyes on you. History has its eyes on you.
Over the past year, COVID has forced everything to become virtual.
School was done through Zoom, and you would interact with your friends through games. We started using our devices more, and they became a bigger part of our daily routine. With the state opening up and people getting vaccinated, it's time to reconnect with friends and go outside. Close your laptops, lock your phones, walk away from your computer, and interact with those around you.
It's time to reconnect.
And the winner in the PSA category is 2020, history has its eyes on us. Kayla Ring. Congratulations, Kayla. Come on up. Say a word or two. What have you got for us?
Hi, I'm Kayla Ring. I'm 13 years old and I go to Paul Revere Middle School. And first off, I'd like to thank the Teens of LA Film Festival, the judges for their time and effort, and my family for their constant support. My film tries to touch on the idea that our actions affect the world around us. And as we work through this difficult period, the decisions we make are writing history. I hope reflecting on all the good, the bad, the important people, and the movements of 2020 and beyond inspires you to be conscious of your choices and do something good, because history has its eyes on us.
Woo! And now, here's another film festival committee member to introduce the next category.
Hi, my name is Neil Stokes, and I'm a librarian with the Los Angeles Public Library's digital content team, and I am here to introduce documentaries. Documentaries are films that highlight cultural, social, scientific, or other nonfiction topics in a creative way. They use a combination of observational footage, interviews, voiceovers, and other material, such as photographs or archival footage, to tell a true story. These are the finalists for Documentary Short.
One, two, three, four, five, six.
My name is Isabella, and I have verbal apraxia. Verbal apraxia is a uncommon speech disorder that affects the person's planning of speaking. It's due to a disconnect between the brain and the mouth. Growing up with verbal apraxia was frustrating. There was good days and there were some really bad days.
Let's see how you do the dance. Are you hungry? Thirsty. Are you thirsty? Words.
I knew something was wrong. I was taking speech therapy. I felt like I was saying the words correctly. I knew what I was going to say. It was not coming out that way. And I was repeating the same words like rabbit. And over the years, as I kept taking speech therapy and seeing people leave, I was like, why me? Why am I staying here? Why do I need this? It built it up to a point where I just wanted to be done. I had amazing support from my friends and family, but I always felt alone in my disorder. You know, I didn't know anyone who had, I didn't even know I had verbal apraxia when I was younger, but I never knew anyone who had similar challenges as I did. So even though I felt loved and I saw people treated me and they were treating me really nicely, there was a voice in my head that was telling me that they disliked me, that they pitied me, that I was just their friend because I was that kid with a speech disorder. And when I got older, I noticed that that was not true. That my friends were friends with me, or my true friends were friends with me because they wanted to hang out with me, because they wanted to be with me. It doesn't matter about my speech. But as I got older and I went to school, I got pulled out of school for speech therapy. And it's a lot for a kid who doesn't have speech therapy to juggle his homework and his life and playing. But for someone who has to take speech therapy, and I took other therapies as well, like physical therapy and OT, I had a lot of stuff to juggle with. And I really felt over the years that it just became a big struggle and frustration. And I was my worst enemy. So I made everything 100 times worse. Technically, I got my diagnosis in 8th grade. My parents did. My parents, in my IEP meeting, got the diagnosis of verbal apraxia. I found many things in high school. Since a really young age, I always felt fell in love with the art of film. And when I was in high school, I got into photography. And for the longest time, I, felt like I had no voice with my apraxia. And film and photography gave me that voice in the way I can express my emotions and feelings towards people. And when I was a freshman in high school, I took stand-up comedy.
Isabella Quinn Rodriguez!
Is my speech. I have speech therapy. I couldn't say some words like rabbit. And people used to say it's rabbit. And like, I know, it's rabbit. No, rabbit. Rabbit. You know what? They're both able to jump. It's okay. It's rabbit. I know you're right. I am right. But you have a standing, right? You know how much I love talking about how I can't say rabbit? I also don't like politics.
Gave me this insight to how I can talk about my disorder through many different art platforms, and people will listen, and they probably will educate themselves about it. And that was the first time I ever noticed that I should not hide my disorder, that I should talk about it, that I should not be ashamed about it. And so that ball slowly unraveled to a point where I kind of was open towards talking about it. I found many amazing people who have verbal apraxia or know of someone who has verbal apraxia. And it's something that I never thought I would get as a little kid. I always wanted to have someone who had apraxia, or a character in a TV show to have apraxia. And I never saw anyone or found that TV show or movie that had someone with verbal apraxia. And when I found people who have verbal apraxia, it was like I found my community. I felt like they know what I was going through. I want to advocate for people with apraxia through art platforms like film, photo, and stand-up. I want to let all the people who have apraxia that you will overcome those challenges. And that no matter what people tell you, you are as smart and intelligent as any other person. We sometimes need help speaking our thoughts. And sometimes when we do speak, we come out with some powerful stuff.
People dying, yeah. People crying, Lord help us. Mother, there's too many of you crying.
Oh brother, there's far too many.
Art has been essential to the activist movements of the Black community. From books to arts to protests to video, art has been a vital component for protests and for showing the truth. It can help break down barriers and make change.
We're doing this so that people like you and me can breathe a little, and so that we can actually have a life to live and something to enjoy. That's what we want. And pizza. We want to enjoy pizza just as much as everybody else.
Hello, my name's Alexander McDaniel. I am 13 years old, and I am a filmmaker. I use my skills to combat racism and oppression. How have I helped the fight? Well, I've made a film about the African diaspora called 1619, and even shot the Los Angeles 2020 protest for George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, etc. And yes, I'm just getting started. I'm really passionate about filmmaking. During quarantine, I've been watching videos, taking master classes, playing around with my film equipment, reading books, and just expanding my knowledge on filmmaking. However, seeing everything going on with racism and police brutality, I have been compelled to make this documentary. So why filmmaking? Because I can use my lens to change the narrative. It is most effective at conveying a message to the audience, and it does it fast. Think about it like this. Books, they tell you what happens from a limited point of view. Paintings, they show you what the artist wants you to see. But video, it shows you exactly what's happening, where it's happening, and why it's happening, without any bias interfering with it. If you do it right, it could change people's views drastically and motivate them for change. Racism has been plaguing America for the past 403 years. It has done this through slavery, segregation, police brutality, microaggressions, racial profiling, and many, many more. Through the power of lenses, I could show people where it happens, how it happens, and why it happens. This makes them aware of what's happening in our modern world, and also establishes some knowledge of history. The title of my documentary, Siki Sekofa, means to look, seek, and take. It's an African word meant for the Akan's quest for knowledge. This relates to filmmaking because you look at what is shown on the screen, you see why it's happening, and then you take what you've learned. See, video is important because it shows you the truth and nothing but the truth. I shot the 2020 protest to show people the urge to protest against this mental illness and to show what really happens, not from the media's POV. I'm letting people embrace Sankofa. All it takes is motivation and a camera to make a change. You can even use your phone. The George Floyd video was shot by Darnella Frazier on her phone. Guess what? It sparked protests around the world and marked the history books. What we're doing is saving lives. We're making people aware what's happening so they don't become like George Floyd, Elijah McClain, Emmett Till, Dante Wright, Adam Tobdelo, and unfortunately thousands of more. This content that we have seen has had a huge impact both positively and as well as negatively. And I want to make sure that we're part of the seed chain of seeing images of the spectrum that show us who we are. You don't need to be a skilled filmmaker like Spike Lee, Ava DuVernay, John Daniel Singleton, Oscar Mache, or an amazing poet like Maya Angelou. No, all you need is a cause and grit to help make a change. As a young filmmaker, speaking to my generation, as Malcolm X once said, we need to heal the wound.
My favorite author is Mary Pop Osborne. She wrote Magic Treehouse. My favorite book is Tales of Adventure Pokemon because it has Pokemon and it has many chapters in it. If I wrote a book, it would be about amphibians and animals.
I like having a book in my bag and just reading wherever I'm at. My favorite author is Octavia Butler. My favorite book is Parable of the Sower. It has a female protagonist who is incredible, she's powerful, and there's a lot of lessons to be learned in that book. If I wrote a book, I would make it about my own story of coming to the United States, and I think it would be fun to make it a children's book, or maybe have it be kind of like a graphic novel.
I usually do my reading in the evening, and I keep a big stack of books by my bed. Last night, I was reading Moby Dick. So this one I read to your mom when she was little, Charlotte's Web. It's a very, very sweet story. So this is the only book that I've written. It's based on 16 years of anthropological fieldwork, studying hardcore members of MS-13. Wallace Stevens is my favorite poet. Complacencies of the peignoir and late coffee and oranges in a sunny chair and the green freedom of a cockatoo mingle to dissipate the holy hush of ancient sacrifice. So anyway, that's the opening.
My favorite book is Goldie Vance, The Hotel Whodunit. It's my favorite book because it's about, like mysteries, and I love mysteries. I love reading comic books. I love reading murder mysteries. I love reading mysteries. I just love reading things with adventure. My favorite author, Edgar Allan Poe. I love his poems.
Right now, I just finished the book Smile. I thought it was a really good book. The Giant Jam Sandwich. I really like this book because it has a lot of imagination in it. And I read this one with my mom at night. Tell me who you are. I ask them to share their perspective on the world and how sexuality or racism has affected them or their family. It's a great book to read with your parents just to help you out a bit.
I like to read history books and cookbooks and gardening books. My favorite book is House on Mango Street, probably because it has beautiful imagery. I'm reading Stealing Home, a book about the history of Chavez Ravine. If I wrote a book, I would write a children's picture book so that I could do the art also.
I'm reading a lot of books. I'm reading The Way of the Samurai. I'm also rereading a lot of the Little House on the Prairie books because they're really good. I set up a little comfy reading spot with my pillows and my comforter. I have a lot of favorite books, but I'm gonna go with Harry Potter, The Prisoner of Azkaban. If I wrote a book, it would be about a gardener who has this magic garden, and there are all kinds of fairies in there, but he doesn't really notice them until a few chapters away from the first chapter.
So I think all the books have things to teach us about life, about people, about places. My favorite book is The Little Prince. I read this book when I was 17 years old, and I have been reading it since then. And I would like to read a quote. "Goodbye," said the fox. "Here is my secret. It is quite simple. One sees clearly only with the heart. Anything essential is invisible to the eyes." The title of my book is Flight to Freedom, the story of Central Americans in California.
And now the winner in the documentary category is The Voice That Has Not Been Heard, a personal narrative short film by Isabella Quinn Rodriguez.
Well done, Isabella. Come on out. You got to tell for us.
Hi, I'm Isabella. I just graduated high school from Grand Arts High School. And I want to thank the Teens of LA Film Festival for giving me this award. It's an honor to receive it. I also want to thank my film teacher from my school, Mr. Mark Schwartz, for being such an amazing mentor through this whole film process and helped me create an amazing film out of it. And I also want to thank my parents for being such supportive parents through this whole process of me becoming a filmmaker. This film talks about my personal journey and story about having verbal apraxia, and there are many other people out in the world who have verbal apraxia, who have similar stories like mine, and they should be heard and shared like mine did. Because at the end, we should all be seen as equal, no matter what the difference you sound like. So thank you again for this award.
Congratulations. And next up is another Teens of LA Film Festival committee member to announce the next category.
Hi, I'm Ziva from the Baldwin Hills Branch Library. I'm here to introduce the top films in the category of experimental short. An experimental short is a film that experiments with the filmmaking process, either through editing, sound, non-traditional techniques, or abstract narratives. These are films that do not fit in a traditional mold, including films without dialogue or storylines. And now, here are our top 3 experimental short films.
I have a reminder for Dylan.
maybe I can still make the call. Why did I not do that while you still had the chance?
back to Arctic News. I'm scientist Rana reporting live from the secret laboratory. Global warming, climate change, the climate crisis, whatever you want to call it, the polar ice caps are melting, and it's all our fault. In the atmosphere, greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide have the role of, well, a greenhouse. They trap sunlight in and let it slowly radiate out into the Earth, keeping the Earth's temperatures normal. But now, humans have allowed it to go too far. When we burn fossil fuels like oil, natural gas, and coal, we emit more carbon dioxide into the air, multiplying the greenhouse effect and raising global temperatures. You may be saying, fine, how does this affect me? Well, we have some of our team on location to tell us more about this crisis. Thanks, Drona. I'm Mama Glacier. As we can see here, when the sea ice melts, the ocean levels rise to abnormal levels. In the summer, sea ice is supposed to melt, but now less of it is freezing back in the winter. If we continue to allow global temperatures to rise, ocean levels will rise, and there will be dangerously thin to no sea ice, and decreased freshwater ice forms like us glaciers and my daughters, the icebergs. Hi, I'm Irene the iceberg. When too much sea ice melts, it causes there to be more water in the oceans, throwing off weather patterns. This means that there will be more extreme weather than usual, creating more hurricanes, tornadoes, rainstorms, flooding, snowstorms, and fires. This will cost human beings more money for repairs and destroy the lives of many people. Lastly, and most interestingly, global warming takes a toll on mental health as well. Increased heat will increase depressed thoughts and suicide rates, and people who have experienced a natural disaster are at risk for PTSD, anxiety, and depression. See, global warming doesn't mean things are just going to get hotter. Colder temperatures in some regions are not evidence that global warming isn't real. It actually supports it. Hi! I'm Celia the Sea Ice. As you've probably heard, I haven't been feeling well lately. This heat has seriously got me bad. This affects animals that live in the Arctic, like polar bears, seals, and more. If I continue to melt, these animals will have nowhere to live and will have to adapt to new places or face extinction.
Hi there, we're the coastal cities. If ocean levels rise, major trade and entertainment cities on the coast like Los Angeles, San Francisco, New York, and various island nations will be flooded or completely submerged underwater. Also, human beings' food, water, and air quality will be polluted, and warmer temperatures will cause insects to hatch faster, and more flooding will make breeding grounds for mosquitoes a normal thing to see. This will increase the risk of insect-borne diseases and pandemics.
We like global warming.
So please, for the fate of the world, believe in global warming, because it's real, it's here, and we started it. So it's time to stop it. Thank you.
Oh my love, you're such a fragile thing, I know. And with the winter comes the ice, the snow. But I'm here to hold. And oh my love, don't worry about the cold just yet. The trees haven't started to shed. Just feel the summer sun as it warms our bed. I'm lying, and I'm lying when I say I'm not. And oh my love, the seasons come and they go, but I hope you know that I won't.
And the winner in the experimental category is Time Short, Eunice Shin. Eunice, congratulations. Well done. Come on out, say a word or two.
Hi, first of all, thank you. I loved watching all the amazing and creative experimental shorts created, and it is such an honor to receive this award. I want to thank my mother and Tenny for their patience and support in helping me make this idea come to life. I also want to thank my wonderful film production teachers, Mr. Cohen and Mr. Levingood. I'm very proud of this finished product and so excited about my short film, which is a story about our relationship with time. Thank you.
Congratulations again. And last but certainly not least, the final category for today is live action or animated, a short film that tells a fictional story using believable characters, plots, and settings. These can be any genre, comedy, drama, action, horror, etc. And films submitted in this category can be live action or animated.
He always likes to go to Liam Land. That's his plan. With all his friends, they like to play on their own. That's the theme song for Liam Butler and his friends. It's a nice day in Liam Land, isn't it, Charlie?
Yup, nice day, huh?
I love it too, Morse Q. We better hurry, or we'll be late for the Morse Metal concert.
Gotta switch to my reporter crown to cover the concert.
Morse! 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 Morse!
The crowd is excited for the first appearance of Morse Metal at Liam Land. I'm here with two fans, Liam and Morse Q. Liam, how do you feel about the concert?
Pretty excited.
Sounds like you're starting. Let's listen.
Hi guys, how's the concert? Good. Dad says it's time to get back and work on your animation.
Okay, Mom. See you later, guys.
Bye. Have fun in the real world.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, Liam, what's up?
I
was just writing some stuff for your character, Charlie Dog, but I'm stuck.
Maybe I can help. What was Charlie doing?
He was going to report on the weather, but it's too boring.
Weather can be very exciting, very unpredictable.
Yeah.
And what if, instead of talking about the weather, Charlie sings about it?
Hey, that sounds cool.
I always feel better when I see some kind of weather, like a rainy day or a sunny day. But today is gonna be a kind of funny day. First it'll rain, then it'll snow. You'll get wet, then you'll freeze your toes. Most people like weather that's inviting, but I prefer weather that's exciting.
Thanks, Dad, it's perfect.
No problem, Liam.
I'll get a script out to you later.
Great, glad I could help.
Most people like weather that's inviting, but I prefer it when the weather gets exciting. It's not bad weather. It could be a lot of fun. Here, let me show you. Woohoo!
Excuse me.
Shark!
Didn't mean to scare you.
Don't eat me!
Oh, don't worry. I'm a bonnet-head shark. I'm a vegetarian.
Hello, bonnet-head shark.
It seems like the crazy storms have stopped. Where are you two heading?
I'm not sure. I just got here. Why don't we go check out the multiverse?
What's a multiverse?
It's a bunch of worlds filled with ideas I didn't know what to do with. Want to come along?
That sounds interesting.
About as interesting as a vegetarian shark. Come on, let's go! We're in the poorly drawn universe.
I'm going to eat you. I'm going to eat you. I'm going to eat you.
Oh no! Bonnethead Shark is only a vegetarian in our universe. Quick, Morse Cube, let's go to another universe before the shark eats you. I'm a ghost!
Waka 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 waka.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
I'm suddenly hungry. What about you guys?
I can go for some kale chips.
A cup of nuts and bolts coming right up.
Liam, it's time for bed.
Okay, Dad. I gotta go to sleep. See you tomorrow. Or in my dreams.
To get ourselves a treat.
it's your day, so you get to pick what you want.
Yay!
What's going on?
I don't know.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I can't see that. Oh my god. Why did you pick this one? That's experiment.
Yes.
Oh
What did they do that?
What just happened?
I don't know.
Yeah, totally. I think it's like the sentences have been.
It's so cold. Come on, bud. Come on.
Is this it?
No,
Why?
because being human is hard.
Why is it so hard?
Because there's so much things to do, I just can't do it.
Okay. We can try again tomorrow.
Yay!
Ever since I was young, I've loved cars. From the moment I came out of the womb, I've been constantly thinking about the four-wheeled things of beauty. My first word was Porsche. My second was Turbo Porsche. Ferrari, Lamborghini, I knew them all. And one day, I dreamt of having one of my own. And now it's my 16th birthday, and I've got a brand new sweet ride. Look at this thing in beauty. It's my grandma's old 1997 tan Nissan Maxima. Street value of $800. My value, priceless. Fully decked out with 126,000 miles already tacked on, a sticker to get into my grandma's temple, and some music playing system that I have yet to figure out. This thing embodies sexiness. If you don't go out and start the engine every day, it doesn't start at all. For me, this car represents freedom. It represents getting older and growing up. It represents gaining independence. I gotta make it nice. I'm living the American dream. It's time to hit the open road. The only question is, where will I go on my first night out?
where are you going?
I don't know. Wherever the road takes me.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to take your sister to Beth's house. And, oh, can you pick up my prescription at the drugstore on 18th and Wilshire? Oh, and can you return these library books? They're due. I don't want to get a late fee. Thank you. So excited you're driving now.
Me too. We're not doing any of the stuff she said. We're going to Vegas, right?
I actually want to go to Beth.
Okay. Going to Beth's.
And the winner in the live action or animated category is Not So Fast, Not So Furious, Noah Goldsmith. Congratulations, Noah. Well done. Get up here. Say something for us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for running this festival and allowing me to submit. It's an honor to win it. I want to thank my film teachers from school, Drew and Regina, for helping me on this project. I would love to thank my family. My sister and my mom were both in it. My dad helped me out. My friends who helped make it, and down the street neighbor Hugo, who was the baby in the beginning, and of course to my grandparents who got me or lent us the car.
Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for participating in today's event. Just a reminder that LATL is now fine free. So, woo! So, while we love getting our books back, you don't have to worry about any fines in the future. So once again, thank you to all the young filmmakers who submitted their projects this year. We can't wait to see everyone's films next year. You're all a really talented and inspiring bunch, and we look forward to what you'll dream up next. Stay safe and keep creating.
Absolutely. Take care, you guys.